I've been saying it for years, guys. The Seattle Mariners are cursed. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Levi here with the NW Sportscast, and we're back again with another post-game show after another disappointing game. Let's talk about it. All right, so what happened today? Well, it was an early start, at least for us on the West Coast. It was 7 o'clock in Toronto, but it was 4 o'clock here, so get out of class, and I'm like, here we go, time to watch my favorite team play some baseball. And almost immediately, things got off to a bad start. Once again, Luis Castillo not pitching very well. He ends up going 5 innings, 4 earned runs. But it was, 2 of those runs came in, I believe, in the first, and then the next 2 in the second. Or no, it was 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, something like that. I don't know, but it was not good. And he definitely, pitched himself out of a couple of jams. Could have been a lot worse. I think he's pretty lucky that he escaped with only 4 earned runs, considering the amount of base runners that he allowed. And again, it's like, for Castillo, a lot of that just comes down to he doesn't have a ton of control right now. I mean, he's missing his spots a lot. And I think he still is kind of operating under this false premise that he's a fastball pitcher and he can just zoom his fastball down there and guys are going to swing and miss. And I don't know if he's lost velo or if guys are just more adjusted to him, but it's not working for him. And it wasn't really working for him at the end of last year either. And, I've seen a lot of different responses. A lot of people saying it's still early. It is still early, but it has been 3 games now. And 3 games for a pitcher is it's not an insignificant sample size, right? Pitchers throw about 30 games in a season, give or take. And so, he's now 1/10 into his season. Luis Castillo is 1/10. He's made a 10th of the starts that he's going to end up making. And he's, currently 0-3 and has looked pretty bad in all 3 of them. So I wouldn't say it's too early to start making an opinion there. Because it's for a starting pitcher, you're starting to get to the point where first start, okay, second start, I guess, but we saw him look really sharp in spring training, and now he's just falling apart. So I think there's definitely adjustments that need to be made there, because this is a guy who is, he's under salary for this year, for next year, and then for 2 more years. So we have him for 4 years under salary. We can't have him giving up so many blow-up starts. And maybe this, I'm not going to say this was necessarily a blow-up start. He only gave up 4 runs, but it was another start where his ERA again went up. His ERA is 6.97 right now. That's number 5 starter. That's worse than most number 5 starters. So, for a guy that you're paying for 4 years, you need to at least, I don't need him to be an ace, because I really truly do believe that George Kirby and Logan Gilbert are both going to end up having better seasons than him and are both going to be aces for the Mariners. So I don't need Castillo to be an ace, but I need him to be at least a competent number 3. Because if Castillo turns in, what we don't want is for Castillo to turn into Patrick Corbin, where he is consistently basically putting up number 5 starter numbers, but he's being paid number 1 starter money, and you can't get out of that contract, which is what the Nationals paid Patrick Corbin for 7 years, and now, he was good for the first of those 7 years. Now he's on year 5, and the past 4 years, he's been just a number 5 starter getting paid ace money, and he still has 2 more. So it's that is what you want to avoid happening with Castillo, where it's it would be really great if Castillo can just be a number 3. And right now he hasn't been. So there are adjustments that need to be made. I trust that the Mariners coaching and pitching staff is going to understand that and start making those changes. And I trust that Luis Castillo is going to want to, do as much as he can to get better, because I don't think he's sitting around great start, 4 runs, 5 innings, I did great today. No, I think Luis Castillo walks off that field and he's like, man, that was rough, and I don't want that to happen. I let my guys down, and I think he's going to try his best, and I really do think we're going to see, I have seen some people saying that Castillo always struggles early. I don't think that is true. I mean, sure, maybe he has some bad starts early, but I'm going to pull up Castillo's monthly splits in his career. I'm really interested to see this now. Luis Castillo monthly splits, because I saw some people on Twitter who were saying, oh, don't worry about Castillo. He always sucks in April. I'm like, okay, well, let's look at it. So in April, his career ERA is 4.07. And that is not the highest ERA of a month, right? And actually, May is his worst month at 4.45. Then June at 3.43. July at 2.81. And then September at 3.02. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you that the people on Twitter and in the media who are trying to say he always starts slow in April, they're kind of just reaching. Sure, April is not his best month, but his worst month is May. April is tied with August for his second worst month. And even then, 4.07 is a lot better than 6.97. That's literally 3 points better. So I don't think you can just say, well, he's always bad in April, he's going to be fine. No, I do think there's seriously an issue there. And that's all I'm going to say about him, though, because now we're going to talk about the offense. And like you said, look at the caption of the video. Castillo slips. He slipped, and the offense couldn't catch him. Yeah, this has kind of been a theme of the entire Mariners season is, the starting pitcher struggles, and then the offense just completely fails. And the problem is, sure, Castillo giving up 4 runs isn't great, but also being down 4-0 in the third inning shouldn't mean the game is lost. And that's kind of what it feels like right now being a Mariners fan. Now, it's not that the offense didn't try. To their credit, the Mariners hit 10 balls with a hard hit over 100 miles an hour. So the Mariners, they were hitting the ball today. They were making hard contact. They were making good contact. Unfortunately, guys, 6 of those 10 hard hit balls got caught. That is so unlucky. And, part of it does speak to the fact that the Blue Jays are a really good team defensively. They have guys out there like Bo Bichette who's making plays at shortstop. Kevin Kiermaier made a couple of really good plays out in center field. So, you could say, yeah, the Blue Jays, they have a better team than us defensively, and that does play into it. But also, to have 10 hard hit balls like that, and then 2 of them were solo home runs. So J.P. Crawford and Cal Raleigh both hit solo home runs in the 8th and 9th innings. So instead of getting shut out 5-0, we lost 5-2. Gonna be honest, it kind of felt like a shutout. I think garbage time solo home runs are really kind of stupid. Sure, they count in the stat book, but it really didn't affect the game at all. But good for JP. He now has 45 career home runs as a Seattle Mariner. And then Cal hit his 60th career home run. And he is actually tied with Julio for 29th all-time on the Mariners all-time list now. So that's a little tidbit about Cal. But either way, Cal finally with his first home run of the season, and you kind of think maybe that'll happen in Toronto because he does seem to do really well against the Blue Jays for some reason. And then JP now tied with Canzone for the lead, the team lead with 2. So do with that what you will. But yeah, pretty unfortunate. Other than that though, the top 6 guys in the lineup. JP was 1 for 4. Julio was 0 for 4. Jorge Polanco lost his hitting streak. He went 0 for 4 as well. Mitch Garver went 0 for 4. Mitch Haniger went 0 for 4. And Cal went 1 for 4. So the top 6 hitters in the lineup combined to go 2 for 24 with 2 solo home runs. And that was it. You can't have that from the top of the order. And it's been a theme all season long. But you cannot have the top of the order hitting that poorly. It's not going to work. It's not going to be sustainable. And I don't think that the top of the order is going to be that bad all season long. There's no way that they can. But until they start hitting better, this offense is going to struggle. No matter how many hard hit balls you have. You could hit the ball hard 16 times, and if the top of the order only gets 2 hits, the top 6 guys, you can't do anything. We did see some more really good at-bats from the bottom of the lineup. I think Ty France got to be the player of the game today. Ty today went 3 for 4. He had hits in each of his first 3 at-bats, and obviously he is back after being a dad. So congratulations to Ty, newly the father of Luca France, and Ty's dad, or Luca's dad, Ty now. He had a great game. He has a 7-game hitting streak going, and he is my player of the game. So that's the third time he has got this award in the past 6 games. Really good stuff from Ty France. Exposing the rest of the team. Ty's hitting 379, and he's batting 7th. And I do think, you're starting to get to the point where lineup changes are starting to, maybe we should start making some lineup changes here, because I'm starting to wonder about some of these choices and whether or not we want to have this combination of guys hitting, because they can't seem to string hits together right now. Also, Dominic Canzone, he has another 2-hit game. He had 2 hits in Sunday's game, and then he has another 2 hits today. After going 0 for 2 at the start, he wounds up with a double and a single towards the end of the game. So Canzone going 2 for 4. He now is hitting 222 on the season, and his OPS is 703. So, if you had Canzone as your most productive outfielder 11 games into the season, you'd have been right. Canzone also, by the way, leads the team in runs batted in with 5. 5 runs batted in leads the team, and that's Canzone. And then at the bottom of the lineup, Josh Rojas went 0 for 3 as well. The Mariners struck out 10 times today, only 4 times in the first 5 innings, then 6 times in the last 4, including Rojas and Canzone both striking out twice. Mitch Haniger had a rough day. He went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Cal with 2 strikeouts, as well as Garver and Crawford. So some good news, some silver lining. Julio and Polanco both didn't strike out, and they both were both stolen. You could say they had stolen hits because they both had some nice hard hit balls that unfortunately got caught for outs. But positive signs from Julio, positive signs from Jorge. Still sucks to see, though, the batting averages. I mean, look at this. Crawford hitting 140, Julio hitting 186, Polanco at 175, Mitch Garver at 179, and Cal is hitting 207. So, yeah, it's definitely rough to see. A couple other nice positives, though. We did see, I guess, one other positive. The other positive I have from today is Tyson Miller. So Tyson Miller, if you guys didn't know, we had 3 roster changes, because we had Ty getting called up and Samad Taylor went back down, obviously. And then we had the 2 guys in the bullpen. 2 injuries in the bullpen. So Colin Snyder, he took that ball off his knee on Sunday. He is now on the IL, the 15-day IL. And Cody Bolton, also, this sucks. Cody Bolton has kidney stones, so he is also in the IL. And, of course, those are the 2 guys who are kind of fill-ins in the bullpen as it is. Neither of them would have been in the opening day bullpen had Matt Brash and Gregory Santos been healthy. So we lost theoretically the 2 weakest links of the bullpen are now both in the IL. So now they've been replaced with Tyson Miller and Brett DeGeus. I believe his name is DeGeus. I'm not exactly sure. Brett DeGeus. And Tyson Miller looked really good. He comes back after having a phenomenal spring, by the way. Tyson Miller was great in spring training, comes into the team, and immediately looking good. 2 scoreless innings. He really kind of shut down that Blue Jays offense. I thought Tyson Miller couldn't have given us much better of an approach today. 2 strikeouts, didn't allow a single base runner, so I thought he looked really solid. And then Brett DeGeus comes in, and he did give up 1 run in 1 inning. And I do think it's interesting that we chose to call up Brett DeGeus when, we did have, because what DeGeus is interesting. So DeGeus wasn't on the 40-man, and we didn't have a spot in the 40-man for him. So we had to DFA Ty Adcock and risk losing him. I do really like Ty Adcock. I think I'm higher than him. I'm probably the highest on him out of any Mariners podcaster that there is. So maybe I'm just wrong. That could be. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm an expert on Ty Adcock, but I did like him, and I thought, when you have Adcock, who's healthy and on the 40-man, also have Carlos Vargas healthy on the 40-man, and Mauricio Rivera healthy and on the 40-man, kind of weird that we chose to call up DeGeus, who wasn't on the 40-man, especially considering that DeGeus, last time he threw in the big leagues was 2021. He pitched 47 games and had an ERA above 7. Then in AAA last year had an ERA of 11.43. In spring training, he had an ERA of 7.68. And in the minor leagues in Tacoma so far this year, he has pitched in 3 games and he has an ERA of 9. So he has been bad across the board. He has been not good in Tacoma, not good in AAA last year, wasn't good in spring training, wasn't good the last time he was in the big leagues. It kind of makes no sense why Brett DeGuias is getting a call-up other than the fact that apparently he throws a really good sinker, according to Ryan Divish. So, I don't know. Kind of weird. I guess, he has options, so we can send him down as soon as we are done with him. But, as you would expect, the guy who has been terrible throughout his entire career comes in and gives up a run. Not that it mattered. The Mariners' offense wasn't going to come back today anyway. So, yeah, Seattle, we got 7 hits. Probably should have had more like 13 hits based off the hard hit percentages, based off of our expected batting averages. But whatever. That's how the cookie crumbles. And, I've been saying this for a long time, guys. The Mariners might just be cursed. This might just be the curse of the Seattle Mariners because I feel like this happens all the time. Mariners will have a better expected batting average. Mariners have more hard hit balls. Mariners have, more barrels, better this, better that, and then yet they still somehow find ways to lose games. It just sucks. It just sucks right now, and I get it. We're 4-7. Try not to panic. We were 4-7 at this time last year. Remember, guys, 2022, we were 10 under 500, and we made the playoffs that year. So anything is possible. But yeah, 4-7 is not a good start. The Mariners are now, the Astros, I believe they just won. Yeah, they did. So with the Astros winning, they have tied us for 3rd place in the West. We are both 4-7. The Rangers are 6-4, so we're still only 2.5 games back of Texas, and then we're also 2.5 games back of the 3rd wild card, which is currently owned by the Tigers, who are 6-4 as well. So we're not that far back. It's a long season. We can easily win 4 games in a row and come back. Do I think we will? I'm not gonna hedge my bets on it, guys. I'm not stupid. But it's slow. It's a slow process, and we're gonna improve throughout the season. We're going to, guys. We're going to. But I do want to touch on the lineup because, like I said, we're getting to the point where I'm kind of thinking maybe some lineup changes could be beneficial. Specifically, I don't think J.P. Crawford should be leading off. He is hitting 140. He is not a good leadoff hitter right now. Like he's a momentum killer. At one point today, we had 2 on, 2 outs after Canzone and France, of course, both got hits. And then 2 on, 2 outs, up comes JP. He works a full count and then grounds out to end the inning. It's like you don't want to have a momentum killer batting at the top of your lineup, getting the most at-bats on your team, and he's right now, his approach has been terrible. It's like JP was so good last year after he went to Driveline. I'm wondering, did he forget to go back to Driveline this offseason? I'm not sure what's going on, but if I was the Mariners, I would move JP Crawford down the lineup. I do think, honestly, maybe you try out Mitch at leadoff or Ty France because they're the guys who at least have been looking competent at the plate. I'd be interested to see Mitch Haniger leading off. It would feel weird because I know he's, usually you want a leadoff hitter who's kind of quick, kind of a fast guy who makes good contact. I mean, I don't know. Mitch is getting on base though. He didn't get on base today, but he's been getting on base. He's been taking walks. He leads the team in walks. He is 2nd on the team in batting average. I guess 3rd on the team in batting average, and 2nd in OPS. So I don't know. Maybe you try Mitch at leadoff, Julio batting 2nd. I guess I don't know. Maybe move Julio to bat 4th, Polanco 3. I don't know, guys. It's tough. The lineup is tough to manipulate right now because you can't overreact. I mean, but I think the biggest thing is I think JP needs to get out of the leadoff spot because right now he's a momentum killer. He's not doing anything well. Even his defense has been subpar. He's -1 outs above average this year. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough to watch JP. at the leadoff. So I think what I would do is I would hit Haniger first, probably. I think I would hit Haniger first. I think I would hit JP maybe fourth, and then leaving Julio second, Polanco third. So I would swap JP and Mitch. I'm not going to move JP all the way down the lineup just yet, but just get him out of the leadoff spot because it's right now it's been a big momentum killer, and it hasn't been working. You've got Rojas hitting well, you've got Canzone hitting well, you've got Ty France hitting well. Then all of a sudden you get to the top of the order and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. We need more from the top of the order. All right, guys. Bummer of a podcast today. Bummer of a game. That's it. That's all I'm going to say for this one. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, if you want to check out more of the channel, make sure you do. It's the NW Sportscast. We're doing post games, pre games, that kind of stuff. We talking Seahawks. I had a mock draft out that got quite a bit of attention. So if you guys want to see a nice little Seahawks mock draft, check that one out. If you guys want to see more content, I'm probably going to do a video actually soon, just kind of talking about how unlucky the Mariners have been this year because, like I said, guys, we just might be a cursed franchise. The way that we get all these hard hit balls, the expected batting averages, and then we just don't actually get the hits and the runs. But anyways, yeah, so look for that video. That might be out tomorrow. And with all that being said, thank you all for watching. And as always, go Mariners.